First of all, how are you?
Healthy and living.
I knew you was going to say that.
Yes, I told you that's going to be my thing.
Healthy and living. But when I say it to you, you get emotional.
You have to come up with your own thing.
Living and healthy.
You just remix it, change the words. Well, yeah, no, seriously, how are you?
Today's been a better day.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. So I wanted to talk to you about registering Anthony Jr. and the fact that we didn't register Layla-Rose.
Mm-hmm.
And talk to you kind of about how that made you feel, because I know how it made me feel.
Okay.
Because I think we got very different reactions in regards to this. So just before we go into it, so obviously because Anthony Jr. was born alive, I had to go to the registry office and register his birth, and I got a birth certificate, and then I had to register his death, and I got a death certificate as well for him.
Mm-hmm.
Layla, on the other hand, didn't receive anything because she was stillborn.
Yeah.
So she died as we were in labour. The government have now issued a certificate, but it's like a miscarriage certificate. It's not an official document. It's just something that they're putting forward to kind of help, you know, families who have miscarried or, you know, lost a baby before, I think it's 21 weeks. And the certificates are very, very different. It's not an official document. It's just something that they've done, and you go on the Gov website and put in all the details and they send you a certificate. So, with that being said, how did it make you feel having your son being registered, birth and death certificate, but yet your daughter, who shared the same womb, is not recognised and doesn't have the same?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't generally care. That's honest. Me just being honest. Like, as far as this government, the land and all that kind of stuff there, I don't care about their policies. So I don't feel no way about birth certificates, death certificates. It's all numbers at the end of the day. So it doesn't really mean nothing to me. Their legacy, as in us making sure their name lives on, means a lot more to me than some stupid piece of paper. Because now, I know I'm saying that, and I know you feel a certain way, because I know you're going to be saying, you know, Amira's got it, Anthony's got it, Layla doesn't have it.
Yeah.
But when it's all said and done, what does it mean?
Yeah.
That's just me just being 100 with it.
Yeah.
I care more about making sure the name lives on. That's both of them. That's Anthony Jr. and Layla-Rose.
Yeah.
The certificate thing does not mean nothing to me. Like, I don't feel no emotion to it. The only thing that I would say, well, I haven't, because I've not looked at Junior's death certificate, because I can't know about the hours and all that kind of stuff there. But it's just that's the only thing of a reminder. So that's why we're not, generally, I don't even think I'll ever look at it.
I was going to say, actually, because obviously I went to the registry office on my own.
Yeah.
Was it something that you wanted to come to, or you...
Don't care.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I generally did not care. I generally did not care, because it does not mean nothing to me. Like,
I know. But in hindsight, and I know we made the decision for me to go to do it. In hindsight, I actually wish that you'd been there with me. because it was really hard.
The reason why we didn't go, because I remember, was Amira off?
I think Amira was off.
School. Because generally I would do it if it's, I would have done it rather than you. But I just can't, I can't feel no emotion for a piece of paper.
I know, I get it. I do get what you're saying, and it is a piece of paper. But for me, it's like both of my children were there.
Yeah.
But only one of them has a certificate to say that he was here. And Layla doesn't. And it just feels so wrong. It just feels like because she didn't survive the birth, what her life isn't. And I know it's not, because obviously to us, you know, it's different, but it just angers me that this government thinks that that's okay. And it's not.
Once again, if you want my honest opinion.
Yeah, I know you don't care.
What's that?
I know you don't care.
No, I don't care. But if you want my honest opinion, I would have preferred, even if Anthony Jr. was not registered, if I'm being really honest. Yeah, because it does, like, I know what you mean about, but once again, it's the law of the land.
Yeah.
And I generally don't care about the law.
I know, but I feel like you're looking at this from a...
You're going to say religious or whatever?
No, not religious, but like such a detached view. Like, you're looking at this about law and, you know, I don't feel like you're getting the emotional part of it.
No. Okay, let me drop it like this. I can see why people could feel a way, you know, about...
Because they want their children to be acknowledged.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you've got pregnant, you've carried this child, the child, for whatever reason, you know, hasn't been able to survive. Mm-hmm. You want some recognition. And I think, especially like in the UK, it's kind of like, oh, you had a miscarriage, loads of us have had miscarriages, you'll be all right.
No, okay.
Well, actually, no.
No. Okay, that's a whole different subject. If we're talking the miscarriage and, what you're saying there...
Yeah, but I feel like everyone who doesn't know, everyone who hasn't experienced this, puts everybody in the same umbrella.
No.
And it's kind of like, you know, you just want that acknowledgement. Like, your pain is so raw and you're so broken, and you want people to kind of understand the level of your pain, and you want people to acknowledge your baby as a human, to say, my child was here.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, okay. You see, when we're talking about the miscarriage, and we'll get onto it. I'm going to ask questions about that. But when we're talking about the certificate thing, it's what it is, and I don't want to get too deep into it, but it's because obviously there's things that I know about birth certificate. It's, even if you go and read Anthony's birth certificate, it will clearly say there's no identification. You can't. This does not mean it's a legitimate
use of ID.
ID.
No, but you can use your birth certificate as a form of ID.
You can use a form of ID, but what I mean is, it does not identify you. Like I said, person and a human are two different things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. It's
And-
it's a number, isn't it? It's something for the government's files. It's
and that is why you see what you're saying?
detach yourself
I
from
detach
it.
because I don't care
Yeah.
about.
No, I get what you're saying.
But I can get where you're coming from. It's feeling like they are, that Layla is not recognised.
Yeah.
Layla is recognised, but I do not need the I don't
Recognition
need
from this
recognition
government.
from this government
No, I hear
or
you.
from the land and the piece of
I hear
paper.
you.
Like I said, generally,
Yeah.
even when I said that Junior and Layla, as long as they're in heaven for me,
Yeah.
that's more important to me than any
No,
of that
obviously.
rubbish paperwork, because
Yeah.
it's okay, it could be locked away. It's like, prime example, okay, I know we're coming off the subject here, but it's like marriage. I don't give two crap about the marriage certificate. Don't mean nothing to me. That does not mean nothing. Yeah? Like, these are just legal documents.
Yeah.
And okay, it says that we are one and all that kind of stuff there, but when you really
Yeah.
dig it, it does not mean nothing.
Yeah.
And I do, once again, I get where you're feeling it is Anthony is registered and got the birth certificate.
And Layla-Rose
And Layla-Rose
has
says
her
yes.
birth certificate,
Yeah.
and our second-born has
nothing.
and it hurts. Like, for me, it hurts. You know, I had to go there and have a conversation with a woman who was asking me all these questions, and it was only about one of my children, and I'm like, there was twins, there was two,
Yeah.
and that was difficult. And it just feels like it's like she's just disregarded. And I know she's not, because to us, you know.
Yeah, I look at it, and like I said, once again, I can definitely see it. But if you want my honest opinion, I would have preferred them not having, both of them have nothing. That's
interesting, because it was only after we went to the meeting at Milton Keynes with the bereaved parents that we actually found out that because Anthony Jr. was born alive and has a birth and death certificate, that actually I was entitled to maternity allowance.
Oh, you're making me look so rubbish because you're just asking all the questions. And,
Oh, sorry.
No, but I'm going to be honest with you, that wasn't even going to come to my head, but because the way you're saying it, I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. You just make me look so unprepared.
Well, you wasn't.
No.
But yeah, because of that fact, it meant that I was eligible for that. And if it wasn't for that fact, I literally would have had, I think I was entitled to 2 weeks. 2 weeks of bereavement. So your cervix opens, you go into hospital, you have 4 days of labour, you give birth to 2 sets of twins, they both pass away, you have to bury them in the hospital, you get 2 weeks off, and then you go back to work.
Yes, if that would have...
That would have been it.
Yeah.
So, that's some bullshit.
Yeah. Now,
That is some actual
when
bullshit.
when we're talking about that, that is, that there's a whole different subject now, where 2 weeks.
And then it's like, okay. And some people might be able to do that. I understand sometimes, people who want to get back into work just so they can forget.
Distract their minds.
To distract themselves, and, they find it as a coping mechanism. I completely understand that. For me, though, when I was crippled, it was after the funeral, to be honest, that it really hit me, I think. Because I just think there was so much to do throughout the whole process. Like, I had to give birth. I then had to go into theatre and have blood transfusion and have the operation. And then I had to organise the funeral and, do all this stuff.
I don't know what you said.
No, but
No,
you have to admit, a lot of that,
No,
you
I'm
were
gonna
very
be
withdrawn.
No, I'm going to be real with you. That, the whole, like I said, I didn't even tell my brothers about the date of the funeral. Like,
That's what I'm saying. I feel like at that time you was very disconnected, and I had to make a lot of those decisions.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's the only reason why I'm saying because I don't feel like you were really there at that time.
Yeah, the only decision that I wanted was Layla and Anthony to be in with your mum.
Yeah.
That's, like I said, that's the only thing that I wanted.
Yeah.
Like, as far as all the...
But I felt like where you were during that time is where I went to after. So I just feel like you got there a bit quicker than me, but it's because I'm naturally okay, let's do. And that was my coping mechanism to get through it until there was nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Whereas for you, you had to sit and watch me go through all of that. So you're...
It's so funny. You're just saying that. I was just going to say this, and I know we're doing this open up thing, but I was literally going to say, don't want to talk about it, but this is what we are here to talk about. I was literally that's what I've done that. Because I was literally going to say about you, because, it's kind of bringing me back to that moment. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And... I was literally just going to say for a second, right, like, I literally just going to say, okay, that's what I've done that. I done to literally say, don't talk about it. But it's, I was definitely withdrawn. And it's weird because even when I start, sometimes even when I know we're going to come off the topic, but it's just like, just now just realising that, both our babies are in the ground.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's just like,
there's no other pain like it.
No other pain.
I know.
And like,
I know.
Yeah, because obviously you're talking about, like the funeral and all that, like preparing. I know where my mind was at.
Yeah.
And sorry, I'm not looking at you because I'm just kind of there because I know I'm just going in, playing it all in my head again.
Yeah.
And I know how I just cope with it is knowing that other people go through it.
Yeah, I was going to get on to that.
You get me?
Yeah.
But let me ask you something as well. So when you said from when they were buried, and obviously we went to Alton Towers, all that kind of stuff there.
Yeah.
And then it hit you. What was it that, because I know you say that, okay, nothing is left, now you get your time to grieve, but what was the whole hit? Like, what was the thing that's okay, cool, this has happened?
What do you mean?
I know I'm just rubbish at questions. No, so what I mean by it is literally...
Clarify yourself.
Yeah. So what I mean by that, is, okay, we buried them.
Yeah.
And the next day we took obviously, a mirror. After we've done that. What was it that literally that made you, okay, this has happened. Now I'm going into this new stage, like where I don't want to get out of bed.
The silence.
Yeah.
The silence. It was like, it felt like the day after the funeral. Obviously, we went to Alton Towers because I needed to scream. And then there was just nothing. There was nothing. There was no calls. There was no visits. There was nothing to do. And it was quiet. And I just think the silence of it all is what hit me.
Yeah.
It was like, I have just given birth. And I've left the hospital without my car seats and my babies in them. And it is so quiet. And obviously I've spoken to family and those around us about this now, but at the time everybody felt like I needed my space.
I feel like we're going to definitely have that. We'll get into that, but I
Yeah.
feel like that's for next pod.
But everyone decided to give me my space all at the same time. So I just went from da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, shoo. And it was like it just dropped off a cliff. And it was just silent. And other than you and Amira and the odd call from my nan, that was it. And yeah, it hit, and it hit hard. It hit really hard. But kind of coming off the subject.
Yeah, no, yeah. No, the reason because I just literally just want to throw a question in there.
Yeah.
But the thing is, what I will say, like you was talking about, when it comes to being recognised and...
Yeah. But then, through all this, I've been obviously doing more research and listening to podcasts and things like that. And there are families out there who have, gone the full term or even longer than what we have. And because their babies passed before, they were born, we had Junior at 21 weeks and he was alive. But their babies maybe have even done 40 weeks, so your whole pregnancy, gone into labour, lost the baby before the baby comes out, and that baby isn't recognised. They get put on to a stillbirth register and you get a certificate, but you don't get a birth certificate, you don't get a death certificate. And I just feel like, how can a baby, wasn't alive at birth, but surely that baby was kicking, that baby had heart, lungs, eyes, everything, do you know what I mean? And to just be put on to some register is BS. And I can just understand the anger. It's almost like saying your baby doesn't count. That's what it feels like. Your baby doesn't count. Not important. And yes, and to us, obviously, that's not the matter at all. But that's just how it feels.
Okay, let me drop it like this. The reason, and I know it's not coming off the subject because it's a big relatable, and I hope, and if anyone could learn something, is this, okay? The reason why I don't really care about, about the certificates and, the birth and death certificate is because the only place they need to matter is with us. Yeah? If I could generally, that's why we remember when we were asking, I was saying that I would actually prefer Anthony, not to be registered, because I generally, ballet, I just don't care.
Yeah.
I just do not care. And the reason why is because, and I want people to take this, yeah, like people in families and all this kind of stuff there. In your home, yeah, you're going to be irreplaceable.
Mm-hmm.
From the moment you step out of the one step out of your house, you're a number.
Yeah.
That you can come and go and nobody cares, nobody knew.
Yeah.
And that's it. So with me, that is how that's how I generally take it. Like whether you, obviously like I said, we're doing, well, I don't do PT no more, but it's just like with PT, jobs, whatever,
You're replaceable.
You are
Yeah.
replaceable. And no matter what, it can be done. PT, clients, replaceable.
Yeah.
Do you
Just
get what I'm
find a
saying?
new coach.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when it comes to
Although there'll never be
Yeah,
another coach like me.
yeah. They know. Like obviously, no, it's quality. But what I'm trying to say is that, yeah, like clients come on. Quite how many of my clients gone to Australia and all that kind of stuff there. Like so, obviously, it ain't gonna. But when it comes to your home is where you are irreplaceable. Like I'm always dad. Yeah. To Amira, Layla, and Anthony.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always gonna be dad. You're always gonna be mum.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? She's always gonna be. Do you get?
Yeah.
So that's where it matters.
Yeah.
So when it comes to letting their name live on, I don't know, because people might think, oh yes, it's contradicting and all that kind of stuff. There, no. What it is just that I want their name to have a stamp in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah? Not through government purposes, not through, do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just that for the short time that we had with both of them, I need it like they've made their mark.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That is what matters to me.
You want to make a mark for them because they're not here to do it for themselves.
That is where, so that's why when even, I know we're kind of getting into it, but I prefer it like this because we're just talking. But that's why, remember when I'm telling you that living for them, this is what I mean, is because I want them to have their mark. Like generally when I say about, okay, I don't care about what I do, all this kind of stuff there, is because they have, like the closest thing that I've got from them, as in as a father for Layla and Anthony, is grief, is pain, is a heartbreak. And that is the truth of it all. Where with, like, I love Amira, but I have memories with Amira. When it comes to Layla, did not even nothing from her. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah, nothing from her. Anthony, I had a little something.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when it comes to that, I always look on. I don't care what goes on outside.
Yeah.
So the birth certificate, death certificate.
I do believe that. I know, obviously,
Go on.
to you, and I completely understand your take on it. But I do feel like the government should do something for those parents, because not everybody is as vocal, is as, wants to do something like that. Like, not everybody can express themselves the way that, you know, you can. And their babies should be recognised as well. So I personally feel like there should be...
If it makes you feel... That's why I said I'm not going to say it's a right or wrong. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm not here to say...
But you should have the option.
Yeah.
You should have the option.
Yeah. Like if you say it about the option...
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just like... Okay. I know it's kind of... But reality is... We're... In 100 years, we are not going to be here.
Do you know what? That is one of the things that keeps me going every day.
Yeah, 100 years.
Like literally, when there's days when I cannot get out of bed and I don't want to do anything, I literally say to myself, in 100 years' time, I won't be here.
Yeah.
I won't be here.
Okay.
And none of this will matter. None of this will matter.
This is why I don't have no connection to these
outside
documents.
Yes.
And
no, I get it.
Like, all I want, when I say then legacy, because Amira, she's going to path her own way. And in the future, us having kids that here, they're going to path their own way.
Yeah.
But Layla and Anthony, and listen, I love all my kids, but Layla and Anthony is my duty to get their name.
So would you then say that it is the parents' responsibility to create a legacy for those children rather than the government to acknowledge them? I know you can't speak for everybody.
I can't speak for every. I can't speak.
But for you,
you was making me like rubbish. Like the questions, because these questions you're asking me, because we actually discussed about you've got to come up with questions.
Yeah, I told you got to come up with questions, and you said you wasn't going to tell me your questions. I ain't telling you my questions. I was just following you with the questions. Come on, bruh.
Man, all right, cool. I just go back to get used to this podcast, but because you know it is, Like I'm like, oh man, like. That's a good question.
I'm putting you on the spot. So
yeah, man, I'm feeling hot as well. Like, but it's, man, but yeah. You know what? It's hard for me to say that. It's, you know what? No, I won't say it's if you want your child, in our case, our kids' legacy to live on, it is down to us. Yeah. It is down to us. The government ain't going to do nothing about it. Like, and not some, like I said, I don't want to be insensitive, but that stupid piece of paper don't mean nothing. Like, it does not mean nothing. Okay, let me use this as an example, okay? Because obviously we know, well, where I want to go. Like, I want to be, well, it depends on what happens, but next to them when it comes to burial. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, but what's touch wood? But if the house was going to happen, the most important thing is getting used to it out and getting the stuff that's of theirs. I'm not caring about that.
Yeah, but we can just get another one of those printed.
Yeah, well, all right, then, well, you know what? When it comes to burial and all that kind of stuff, that people bury stuff, is that something you're going to be buried with?
No.
Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like, it does not...
It doesn't mean anything, but it's the acknowledgement, I think. You know, a lot of... I can only talk from a mother's perspective, from, you know, you've bled for this child. You have, in some cases, almost died for this child. And for it to not be recognised, you know, that some shit went down, you know, it's kind of like a slap in the face. And that's where I feel like the anger and frustration comes from, because it just seems like to everybody else in the government, this is what happened and you can get over this. but in your world, it was this, or even bigger.
Back to what I said, you're irreplaceable.
Yeah.
In your own home.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is our family unit. Yeah. It's irreplaceable. But once you step that one step outside the door, that's all you are.
No, I agree.
If you think of it like this, yeah?
And that's exactly what we teach Amira as well.
You think of it like this. Layla, the 28th of March. Anthony, the 30th of March. How many kids have passed since then?
Yeah. Yeah.
How many, like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, and then, not only that, in our situation where we had twins, one still, one alive, how many of that do you think has happened?
Actually, most cases and this is another thing that I found really hard, is when it comes to passing of twins, a lot from what I found online is one twin survives and one doesn't. Yeah. There's not much on losing both. So, like, even like some of the websites and the charities, and it's all about coping with the one child that you've got left. And yeah, I found it really hard actually to find information on losing both, which is interesting.
Well, not to say, but one of my cousins has experienced that. So, and that must be hard.
Yeah, because then you get people who turn around and say, well, at least you got one.
No,
and people say that. People say that.
Gee, stuff like that, you get smacked in the mouth.
But you're still grieving the child that you lost. And even in our situation, we have a child already. And yes, we've lost twins. And no one has said this, thank God. But, some people might be thinking, well, at least you've got a child.
Yeah.
And I understand that point of view, but it's like you having both your parents.
I was just going to say that.
And your mum passes away,
well,
and someone goes,
got one.
At least you got your dad. No, it's not how this works. Yeah. Like, just because someone is here doesn't mean that it's okay that I can. No, and yeah. Anyway.
What you're saying there is true, because that's why like, some people don't know what to say and all that kind of stuff there, but like, stuff like that. Oh well, at least you got one.
Yeah. I feel like we need to do a whole talk on shit that you shouldn't say.
Yeah.
Because it's funny, because people are like, oh, I'm scared. People are scared to say stuff, so they don't say anything. Or some people just say stuff and you're just like, did you think about that before it came out of your mouth? Do you know what I mean? And it's weird. It's just so weird. Because, obviously with us going public with everything, some of the messages that I've heard, you just have to just say, okay, thanks, bye. And move on.
But what... kind of well prepared for these questions.
Yeah? Were you trying to find something?
Trying to draw for something. So, what about having, maternity for Junior? Would you say?
Okay, and we're gonna wrap it up right there.
No, that's it. That's what I wanted to say.
It's fine.
No, we've got so many to go, but all right. Let me jump onto this.
This guy.
No.
Wow.
When it comes to the maternity thing for Junior, Now, this is a serious question. Do you feel a way that you only got maternity for Junior or Layla, or doesn't? Yeah.
It doesn't matter. The only thing I'm peed off about that is the fact that I had to go to a support group to find out about it.
Yeah.
I feel like that information should have been given to me way before.
Yep.
Because had I not gone to that support group, I wouldn't have known, and I would have been fighting to try and go to work every day and, you know, be on point when all I wanted to do was break down and cry. So that's the only thing that I'm super peed off about with that, because I feel like that information should have been given.
Yeah. Because the reason why I say that is because going back to what I'm saying about the whole certificate thing.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay.
Sorry to cut you, but I forgot to even tell you that, you know, when I went to go and register Anthony Jr., there was a woman there with her baby, and she'd registered her child. And she'd obviously just done it, and she came out to feed him, and I had to sit next to her, and she's registering her child, and I'm going to register mine.
You see, that's something that needs to be sorted out.
That was something I was like, this is some bullshit.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't be.
Yeah. That should be actually discussed, because
like there should be a different section or something.
Not a different section, maybe a certain time in the day. A certain time in the day, or
like a Wednesday afternoon for bereaved parents.
And
let's not just mix them all together, because that was really hard.
Yeah, okay, so that
was really hard.
Yeah, no, that is something, see, like that is something where I'm like, okay.
Yeah, but I knew it had to be done, because without that, we wouldn't have been able to do the funeral.
Yeah.
Or it would have delayed the funeral. So I knew it had to be done. But it's just horrible, and I just feel like you shouldn't have to go to the registry office, because, okay, like for us it was in a different area. We went to Oxford. Yeah. But imagine if we were in London, like where I registered Amira, and then say we went on to have other children afterwards, and I would have to go back to that same registry office. Like, it's traumatizing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, there should be somewhere else that you can go to do this.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Right then, cool. Wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up.
So I stink where I come from the gym and everything. Like, yeah. You know, you just feel sticky because it's hot in there. But yeah. Right then, cool.
Do you call this hot?
No, I'm hot, yeah. Because
you're hot because you didn't do your questions. That's why you're hot.